Hello and welcome to Metamorphosis 101. My name is Sarah and I am the head coach of Metamorphosis 101. If you're new here, welcome. Feel free to settle on in. If you're coming back, welcome back. Thank you for joining me once again. And as a life and career transition coach, what I do is I help people as they move through job searches or other life challenges. I understand the difficulties of making those sorts of transitions, how to move through those transitions more seamlessly and with less stress and more kind of understanding of the bigger picture. So today what we're going to be talking about is how to combat anxious thoughts. And before I go any further, a little bit about myself. I actually have a disorder called Generalized anxiety disorder, where essentially my baseline is anxiety. I always knew that I was a more anxious person, and I always kind of suspected that there was something that, like, a mental health issue of some sort. About 2 or 3 years ago, it got to a pretty uncontrollable point where I was barely able to function. I was barely able to go to work, and I was barely able to do much of anything because my thoughts were just just nonstop, overwhelming, negative. I was just really stuck in a very, very dark and negative headspace. And it took multiple years of dedication, therapy, working with coaches of my own, mentors, and just prioritizing to the absolute top of my list my wellness to recover. And I can proudly say I have been in recovery for about 7 months now, and throughout that time I have built this business. I'm still in progress, but I have accrued a amazing toolkit of resources and ways that I deal with my anxiety, that I teach to my clients, and that I now want to share with you guys. So I really do hope that you find this valuable. To anybody out there, before I dive any further in, to anybody out there, if you are dealing with a crisis, a mental health crisis, please know that there is something that you can do about it. The scariest thing, I think, with mental health issues, they convince you that you are responsible to take care of it. At least for me, and my disorder told me that. My disorder told me for many years, this is your responsibility. You have to take care of this, deal with it on your own, blah, blah, blah. But that doesn't really work, right? When you're in a really exacerbated state, it's completely right, and it's the right thing to ask for help. So please don't be afraid to ask for help. I'm going to link some resources down below, as well as leave my information. I am more than happy to contact and consult. Of course, I am not a medical professional, but I have a lot of resources and I can potentially help you in getting to the right place. So with all of that said, how to combat anxiety. Now, the first and foremost thing is always to focus your attention back to the breath. The tried and true method. You look back into like movies or even Hollywood, whenever anybody has like a panic attack or an anxiety thing, they always grab that brown bag and they start breathing into the brown bag. And there is something really to that. I don't think Hollywood gets it totally right, but there is definitely something to breathing. So, oh, my cats. Sorry, that's my cats. So I haven't had a panic attack in a really long time now, thank goodness. But when I used to have my panic attacks were less sudden and kind of more constant. Like, I had basically like a 2-year long panic attack. Like, I was stuck in fight or flight mode for basically 2 years straight, and my protectional energy barrier around me was like worn down to nothing. And I was just like extremely sensitive. Like, I was just like extremely sensitive. So if you're also really vulnerable, there's a decent chance that your energy centers are off balance and that you just need to get those going again and focusing your energy back into your breath. is exactly the way that you recharge your energy centers, and you can focus your attention away from your mind and whatever thought is worrying you, and focus back to your breath. Just think about, close your eyes, just think, I am breathing, I am breathing. Trace your breath as it goes into your nostrils. If you are having blockage in your nostrils, just take deep belly breaths, and our muscles will constrict. So asthma is closely related to anxiety. I used to suffer from seasonal asthma as a teenager. But asthma is basically when our muscles constrict. So in order to get the breathing going again, you have to relax. So what I like to do is I start the relaxation right here to the top of my head and just relaxing the muscles. This is one of those other things a lot of experts say is relax your jaw when you're feeling anxious. We hold an incredible amount of stress in our jaw, right here, in our neck, and in the bottom of our head, and in our lower back. Those are the areas where a lot of times when you're feeling super stressed, or if you throw out your back, that's a sign, that's a red flag for elevated anxiety and stress levels. So just focusing on relaxing. I know that when you're in that mode, that panic mode, it can feel almost impossible to relax your body, and you have to kind of go through what you have to go through. But your attention, what is it that your energy goes where your attention flows, or I don't know, your energy flows where your attention goes. So with that in mind, when your energy is all focused on the panic and the concern and the worry, that's when all of these symptoms are going to start manifesting in your body. Your hands are going to tense up, your shoulders are going to tense up, you're not going to be able to breathe, you're going to start sweating. But when you get into a more relaxed mode, when you can calm yourself, those symptoms start to lessen, and you can kind of bring yourself back to that calmer phase. Now, in addition to just taking that time, that moment, counting down, that's another thing, is to count down, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And my dad used to suggest that method to me as a kid, because I've always been very anxious and stressed out, and my dad used to sit me down as a kid and count from 10 with me. But as an adult, the counting down from 10 method is pretty effective. Counting down, relaxing all your muscles, bringing your attention back to your breath, consciously remembering that you're breathing. And then the last thing, particular order with this, but is just applying a little bit of pressure to your temples and to the other pressure spots on your body. So there's pressure spots on our wrists right here. There's pressure spots. There's one right here. There's two right here underneath our eyes, and of course the temples. Down here by our thyroids, there's little pressure spots there. And then right here along your chest and your collarbone. And you can kind of take that all the way up. And then of course back here by your neck, you can just massage out a little bit of that. But these pressure spots are where our hormone centers are, or where our endorphins are flowing. So if you can just kind of stimulate that area just a little bit, it can kind of get things moving back in the right direction. So with that, that's kind of the very, very basic introduction to how to combat anxiety, particularly during a more acute panic attack. And if you're like me and you have longer term anxiety issues, there are definitely methods and tools that are really effective for longer term sustaining of anxiety management, which I am happy to record another video on that. If you would like to see that, let me know. But otherwise, if you are in need of some supportive transition coaching and you just want somebody in your corner who can hold you accountable to your goals, who will be your biggest champion, who will help you illuminate a path that maybe you just can't see for yourself right now, let me know. My calendar is currently open for booking new clients, and I would love to talk with you. You can visit metamorphosis101.me. I'm working on setting up my system so that it's a little bit easier for people to sign up. So hopefully I'll have some new announcements on that end soon. But for now, please sign up at metamorphosis101.me, send me an email, and let's book a free consultation. It's just a great opportunity to talk to somebody, and there's no risks, no obligations at all. Just want to offer whatever support I can during this time, because I know that this is a really difficult time for a lot of people. And I have a lot of expertise in how to manage during really stressful times. So if you want to take advantage of that conversation, I would love to talk with you. Otherwise, I hope that you found these anxiety tips helpful, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you so very much. Take it easy.